Hi, my name's Adrian, I'm the negative again. So Nick did make some great points about his side, but I do want to say that there is a lot of issues with his workability issues. His number one, he said that the minimum wage is not kept up with inflation. When in actuality, a study by Jeffrey Clemens states that the minimum wage increase results in the reduced average monthly income for low-skilled workers. $100 less during the first year following a minimum wage increase, and then $50 over the next 2 years due to a reduction in employment. So essentially what's happening is, if they do raise the minimum wage, what's going to happen is they still won't be able to keep up with inflation, because obviously if you pay someone more, that the cost of goods have to go up with it. So this is definitely not one of the issues, or this is not the answer to the issue. Also, according to the Statistic Brain Research Institute, in their journal Job Overseas Outsourcing Statistics, if they were to continue raising the minimum wage, companies would want to outsource their company or their job. According to the Statistics Brain Research Institute, 2,382,000 U.S. jobs were outsourced in 2015, with 44% of companies saying that they did so to reduce or control the cost of the business. And David Newmark and Mark Schweitzer and William Washer of the effects of the minimum wages throughout the wage distribution state, a study from the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland found that although low-income workers see wage increases when the minimum wage is raised, their hours and employment decline, and the combined effect of these changes is decline in earned income. Minimum wages increase the proportion of families that are poor to near poor. So essentially it's stating that the poor will actually stay poor and the minimum wage is not helping. His second one was, his argument is increasing that the minimum wage will help. Actually what's happening is autonomy will thrive in higher minimum wage, meaning that instead of people being sourced for these low-skilled jobs, they'll actually make computers and do it instead. Lydia DePillis of Minimum Wage Offensive could, of her in an argument saying offensive could speed arrival of robot-powered restaurants, Washington Post observed that as minimum wage campaigns gain traction around the country, many restaurant chains are already looking for ingenious ways to take humans out of the picture, threatening workers in an industry that employs 2.4 million wait staffers, nearly 3 million cooks and food preppers, and many of the nation's 3.3 million cashiers. Another reason is Carl Benedict Frey states, if companies cannot afford to pay a higher minimum wage for low-skilled service altogether, Oxford University researches that simple service tasks such as vacuuming, mopping, lawn mowing, and gutter cleaning can be outsourced to robots. And commercial service robots are now available to perform more complex tasks in food preparation, healthcare, commercial cleaning, and elderly care. His third point was people can barely make up to $15,000, when in reality, a 2004 study of 400 U.S. chief financiers state that 70% of the CFOs would increase contracting, outsourcing, or moving actual production outside the United States if minimum wage were to be raised at $10 an hour. His fourth was higher minimum wage will lower welfare spending. And it will actually cause a side effect, which would high school dropout will increase. And because of that, Mark J. Perry, which has a PhD in economics of the American Enterprise Institute, states that the attraction to higher wages from minimum wage legislation reduces the high school completion rates for some students with limited skill who are then disadvantaged with lower wages and career opportunities over the long run if they never finish high school. And then his fifth and final point was minimum wage turnover goes down. Actually, what would happen with teenagers and young adults may be shut out of the workforce if minimum wage is increased. Minimum wage workers are disproportionately young. According to the Pew Research Center, 16 to 24-year-olds make up 50.4% of the minimum wage earners. And finally, Casey B. Mulligan of the PhD says, which is an economics professor, states that in July 2009, a fall about 8% in 3 months while the previous drop of 8% after minimum wage increase took over a year, this suggests that in 2009 that minimum wage increase did significantly reduce teenage employment. Thank you.